Aloha guys, hope everyone's doing well. Today is a big day for me, first off, because I'm moving my mom, who's older with dementia, into a new facility, so it should be a really good blessing. So that is what I'm doing after this. But another really beautiful thing is I am going to return this Sony ZV-1 because it sucks. So it's what's recording now, and in its defense, the really nice thing on the ZV-1 is the mic. The built-in mic is pretty rock star, I will admit, but it doesn't mean there's not a lot of other things that get in the way, such as the ZV-1 overheating constantly, which causes the LCD to dim on you, which makes it very hard to see. When you're using sunny weather mode, it dims down and shuts off that much quicker. I've had this thing stop recording midstream for whatever reason on me. What else? The batteries are really an issue too. They don't hold much of a charge, so you need to have like 3 to 5, I would say at least 5. So you got to kind of juggle between the camera overheating and worrying about that, and then worrying about messing around with your camera too much, and then on sunny weather the battery gets drained that much more. So, and again, this thing, when you're recording, it does have a red LCD above the lens to the left, but for whatever it's worth, it has stopped recording on me multiple times. And when you're kind of in the flow of a video, you don't necessarily always pay attention, and you think that the camera is just going to continue recording like it should, but it doesn't for some reason. So a lot of frustrations with the ZV-1. I don't think it's as great of a camera. I think it came out prematurely. I feel like I'm beta testing it, or it needs a firmware update to really address a lot of the issues like the overheating. Because again, in any kind of sun, you have no electronic viewfinder on the ZV-1 like you would an RX100VII or something, so there's basically no other option. You have the ZV-1 with the camera that's going to overheat on you constantly, it seems. Every time I went out shooting, it seemed as if it got in the way of a real video kind of situation every time. So I don't think it's a good camera. I think it has a lot of potential. The mic is really amazing, and actually the still photo capability seems to be really good too. I like that it has a minimum focus distance of 2 inches. I haven't been able to even open a RAW file yet because I don't think there's anything that supports them yet. So you can prove me wrong in the comments if there is a way to open it. I converted it to DNG. That didn't work. I tried latest camera RAW update in Photoshop 2020. That didn't work. Lightroom wouldn't open them. So I haven't really seen the still RAWs of this camera yet. But the ability of the camera as a still camera is pretty good. So if you do want this as a video camera and you're willing to put up with some of the frustrations, like the camera shutting off on you unexpectedly, again, be really mindful of that red LED, because I could be recording like this, and which I've done a bunch of times so far in the last couple weeks I've had this guy, and it will just stop, and then you got to restart and figure out why it stopped. But regardless of that, the camera does overheat quite a bit. I'm in shade right now, so no issue for the most part, but if it is sunny conditions, 70, 80, and the thing starts getting hot, you're going to get an internal temp warning, and then the camera will literally shut down on you. And the LCD does go dim to the point to where you can't even really see what you're doing or composing. So it does render you pretty useless, and there are a lot of things that this thing gets in the way of just a normal everyday shoot. So they say a vlogging camera, maybe it's fine if you're just chilling in a $2 million home of your parents or something doing YouTube videos, but if you're actually out in the field and cruising around Hawaii or cruising around anywhere, Arizona, Florida, somewhere warm like it is now in the summer here in Illinois and Chicago, this thing was not working and it was failing pretty miserably. But right now I'm going to do a little test. This guy, all is getting returned, thankfully, so I don't want to see this camera again for a while. But again, it has a lot of potential. The mic is really amazing, so the mic is pretty rock star. But I'm going to test my RX100VII audio in comparison to this. I have a Rode Video Mic Pro Plus. I also have, let me grab it, this little Ceremonic mic, as you can see. So I'm going to use this on the RX100VII, and we're going to compare and see how this sounds compared to that. I'm going to use my iPhone 11 Pro with a Smartlav mic as well, and just do a little audio comparison and see if the ZV-1 actually is just killing it with the audio, or if we can get the same thing with the... Okay, see, while I was just recording that, just so you guys are aware in a little real life experience, the camera did shut down on me just now. So I went ahead and started the recording again, but I could have easily started to continue my spiel and my video and not have been recording, and that would have sucked. So you got to just expect this thing to stop recording on you, apparently. I'm not sure why it does. Maybe there is a reason and I'm not aware. I'm shooting in 4K right now, but regardless of that, I'm going to go and continue on with the other cameras and we'll see how that audio sounds. Right now this audio is from the Sony ZV-1 and the mic levels are set to 31, I believe, and I do have the little dead cat wind muffler thing on the top of it. So stay tuned and let's see how the sound is. And again, say goodbye to this guy. Don't want to see you again, but it's been fun. All right, bye. So the cool thing, and kind of something that I'm happy about, this little grip, this VPT 2BT, this guy is available. So you can actually buy this kit separately for I believe $150, and right now I'm using it with my RX100VII. So that's cool that this thing is functional on the RX100VII, so I don't really feel like I'm actually missing the ZV-1 anyway, even if I was going through a little, you know, withdrawal from it. But the mic on this guy is cool, but again, returning them today and goodbye. But again, this grip, whoop, I always have bags blowing away in videos and boxes. So you can see there is some wind right now, and again I'm using the built-in mic on my RX100VII. And one of the things I really enjoy about the RX100VII, right now the LCD isn't off to the side, so I'm tempted to look off to the side like this. I'm actually looking straight ahead at the lens, and I could glance up a teeny bit and see, because the articulating LCD is flipped up on the RX100VII. And I'm using this to start it and stop it. There isn't an LED seeing that it's recording, but it doesn't really matter because it doesn't seem to work anyway. The ZV-1 kept on stopping on me every time I was recording, so there is that to be mindful of. So maybe there's a reason they put that red light up there. But again, this is the audio right now on the built-in mic of the RX100VII. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this guy on next, this Smartlav XM1, which I believe is around $21, and we're going to see how that sounds. So stay tuned and we'll see, and tell me what you think is better for the audio. And I could stop the recording with... Okay, so I'm testing the recording in the RX100VII right now, and the audio should be good as far as the levels are concerned. I think I dialed it down in camera to about 22. I see a little clipping. I'm not positive about that. Let me see. So it's clipping a teeny bit. I'm going to lower it down a little and see if that helps out. Okay, so I can actually zoom in a little bit with this guy, as you see, so that's kind of cool. So I can use this remote with, again, the RX100VII, so I'm not sure if a lot of people are aware of that. But again, I'm using this little Smartlav mic with the RX100VII. I got the audio levels, I believe, pretty dialed, but you let me know how this sounds. I have no idea how it's going to sound compared to the Sony ZV-1's built-in mic. Again, this did really well. That was probably the hero of this camera. Other than that, thumbs down, failure, don't like it. But again, it has some potential, again, with the grip and stuff, so I'm just talking to see how it actually is sounding. But right now, I got this RX100VII in a little rig. I have next a Video Mic Pro Plus that I'm going to try out on it, which I haven't used on this guy yet. And then I have my iPhone, and we'll do the comparison with that as well. But again, okay, so testing 1, 2, 3. We got some trucks and stuff, some noise going from the road way over there, and we'll see how it does in comparison again to the ZV-1. Now this again, built-in Smartlav mic, the SR XM1. I believe it was around $20–25. I'll put a link below for you guys, and we'll continue on to Rode Video Mic Pro Plus right now. So right now, I'm shooting the Sony RX100VII with the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus set to it. I have the decibel on the mic set to +20, and I dialed it down in camera on the RX100VII. So you let me know how the audio sounds on this. using a $300 mic roughly. I have, again, I'll take a picture of the cage for you so you can see. But again, not that big of a deal to set up a mic, which the RX100VII has. It has a mic input, so it's pretty simple to just put a mic on really quickly. And obviously a lot better mic than I'm sure this guy with the built-in internal. But let's see, maybe this guy is, you know, pretty rock star for being built in. We'll see what the technology is on this and how it sounds in comparison to the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. And then next is going to be the iPhone 11 Pro with the Rode Smartlav mic. So it's going to be a little different type of mic, but at the same time we'll see, using your iPhone, if you just use your iPhone and a little inexpensive Smartlav mic, if you're going to get comparable audio to this guy, which you're going to be spending $900 to $1,000 on. So with a lot of issues so far with the thing overheating constantly and shutting down. And actually I didn't even tell you, I forgot that I went and shot an entire video like this. Took me a couple hours to set up and shoot and do, and I got home and all the files were corrupted on this guy. So I don't know what that was about as well, but it's been a pretty unpleasant experience in the real world for the 2 weeks that I've had this camera, and I have no reason to not like it. I want to like it, obviously. It would be nice to have this with the RX100 Mark VII and grab this one for the video and grab the RX100 Mark VII for the photography side and the still side of things. Not worth the aggravation and fighting with the camera constantly. And it was a ton of frustration. So who needs that? It's already hard enough to do what we need to do in life, let alone fight with a little camera that you spent a bunch of money on. But next I'm going to see. So right now the audio levels don't appear to be clipping, and I'm just going to rock this out, and then I'm going to get my iPhone 11 Pro and film, and that's it. Woo, see what that sounds like. I love my iPhone 11 Pro, so I'm an Apple fanboy, I guess. But now a few things just so you're aware. When you're shooting something like this, make sure you put your iPhone in the airplane mode, because I think it will help out in case there is any kind of audio interference from any of the apps or something. Put it in airplane mode, you won't get disrupted. This is the Rode Smartlav mic. So you have the little lightning to 3.5 jack connector, and then you have this plugged into that. And right now I'm shooting at that super wide lens, my iPhone 11 Pro. And I have my ZV-1 Sony right here. I have this little rig right here. So this is the RX100 Mark VII with the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus set up on this little rig. So it's like, oh, you Lonzy, or I'm not sure. There's a bug right in front of my mic. Go away, bug. It's a little sweat bee. And I can control this. I can control the ZV-1 and the RX100 Mark VII with this grip. So I'm going to definitely buy this for my RX100 Mark VII because I have kind of fallen in love with this guy. And then I actually have one other mic I can use with the iPhone 11 Pro. I got this Rode Mic Me and the little dead cat, but I'll use this guy and I'll see how that sounds too. So right now we got the built-in mic with the windsock on the ZV-1. We have the internal built-in mic on the RX100 Mark VII. We have that little Ceremonic mic. We have the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. We got the Smartlav mic right now with the iPhone 11 Pro, and we're gonna try the Mic Me Rode and see how all the sound is between the different options we have as something that's small and easy to carry around. And let me know in the comments below what you think sounds best to your ears. And I hope this helps. I'm kind of curious too to see which one sounds better. But again, all right, next Video Mic Me. We have the Mic Me, the Rode Mic Me on the iPhone 11 Pro. This Smartlav mic, as you see with the connector, is now off camera or off the iPhone. And we'll see how the audio levels sound with this guy. So this is another option without the cables. And I use this sometimes. I haven't played around with it a ton, other than shooting little audio for, you know, nature and things like that. But again, let's see how this sounds in comparison, and maybe I'll do one last one with only the iPhone 11 internal mic and see how that is. A lot of times that picks up a lot of the exterior noises, but surprisingly it works pretty well sometimes. This, I think, when you have a little mic like the Rode Mic Me, it will focus in the sound a little bit more and cut out a lot of the external sounds and noises that we would hear, like the traffic. But let's see, there is some traffic going on that side of the area, and we'll see how the Mic Me fares, and you let me know if it sounds good or if it sounds like crap. And then the next little test will be without any mic, and we'll use the iPhone 11 Pro internal mic, and we'll see how that is. So maybe sometimes we have to use that in a pinch, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so now we have all the mics. Got ZV-1, we have the Rode Smartlav, we have the Mic Me, we have the Video Mic Pro Plus over here. All right, aloha guys. So for whatever reason, it got corrupted with my iPhone 11 Pro that day while I was out in the field. I'm not sure. Sometimes when you're plugging stuff in the lightning port, things can kind of go weird. So a lot of times you may have to restart, but it's one of the, you know, the mysteries with the technology game. That would stink if I shot a bunch of stuff and all the audio was corrupted like that, sounding robotic. But again, let me know your thoughts on the different audio comparisons with the ZV-1 and the RX100 Mark VII options. Personally, I think the RX100VII or Mark VII. Personally, I think the RX100 Mark VII with the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus sounded the fullest and had a nice, deep, rich sound. Let me see. But let me know your thoughts and what you feel worked well. I mean, again, the video too is interesting to see. I mean, the ZV-1 definitely has a lot of potential, but again, the frustrations that I was encountering while using it was not worth the energy. It just became really draining, and that just kills your creative flow, and that's not fun. So hope this helps. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and aloha. Bye.